Tom Bradley, a 52-year-old automotive parts manager at Precision Auto Supply in Richmond, Virginia, led a life that seemed stable and middle-class, alongside his wife of 19 years, Patricia Bradley. Tom oversaw inventory and purchasing for the region's largest independent auto parts distributor, earning a yearly salary of $68,000, with additional performance bonuses of $8,000 to $12,000. The couple resided in a 3-bedroom colonial on Oakwood Drive, in the Lakeside neighborhood, a property they had purchased in 2018 for $285,000. Patricia, 47 years old, worked part-time as a bookkeeper for several small businesses, adding approximately $18,000 annually to their income. While they had no children together, Tom had a 23-year-old daughter, Michelle, from a previous marriage living in North Carolina. However, their marriage had been increasingly strained over the last 3 years, largely due to financial disagreements and Patricia's growing dissatisfaction with their lifestyle. Tom's coworkers later revealed that he frequently expressed frustration about Patricia's spending habits, especially her desire for expensive vacations and home improvements that stretched beyond their budget. Patricia was active on social media, often posting about upscale restaurants, designer clothing, and luxury goods that seemed to contradict their actual income. Friends disclosed that Patricia often complained about feeling financially limited and envied those living more affluent lives. Unbeknownst to Tom, Patricia had been researching ways to improve their financial situation without working more hours or cutting personal expenses. Her browser history revealed extensive searches on life insurance policies, beneficiary rights, and inheritance laws specific to Virginia. In September 2023, Patricia started discussing updating their life insurance policies, claiming that the existing $75,000 coverage for each spouse was insufficient given their mortgage and financial obligations. She provided research showing that financial advisors typically recommended coverage of 7 to 10 times annual income. Initially hesitant, Tom eventually agreed to increase their coverage, believing it to be sound financial planning. After consulting with an insurance agent recommended by Patricia, Tom purchased a $500,000 whole life insurance policy, and Patricia increased her own coverage to $300,000. Both policies required medical exams, which showed no significant health issues for either of them, though Tom had borderline high cholesterol, monitored by his physician. The premiums for the new policies, $347 per month for Tom's and $223 for Patricia's, created additional strain on their budget, requiring them to adjust other expenses. Meanwhile, Patricia's online activity also included research into various poisons and their effects on health. Investigators later discovered extensive searches for terms like untraceable poisons, heart attack symptoms, natural toxins, and death by poisoning detection. Patricia's focus was on substances that could mimic natural causes of death, particularly looking into digitalis and oleander, 2 plants containing toxins that affect heart rhythms. Ultimately, Patricia settled on ethylene glycol, the primary component in antifreeze, which she could easily access without raising suspicion. Her research included the effects of ethylene glycol poisoning, the symptoms it causes, and the timing of its lethal effects, demonstrating clear premeditation. In December 2023, Patricia began putting her plan into action. She purchased antifreeze from several auto parts stores, paying in cash to avoid leaving a trail. Surveillance footage from the stores later confirmed her purchases, where she disguised herself with sunglasses and a baseball cap. Patricia's plan involved gradually introducing small doses of ethylene glycol into Tom's food and drinks, causing cumulative poisoning over time that would not raise immediate suspicion, while ultimately ensuring a fatal outcome. In early January 2024, Tom began to experience troubling symptoms: fatigue, mild nausea, and dizziness, which he dismissed as the result of stress or a mild illness. Patricia, ever the attentive wife, urged him to rest and offered to prepare special meals and drinks to help him feel better, all while continuing with her hidden agenda. As the days passed, Tom's condition worsened. He began suffering from persistent headaches, confusion, and an inability to concentrate, all of which impacted his work. His supervisor at Precision Auto Supply noticed a significant decline in his performance, particularly in inventory calculations, and observed that he had difficulty following even simple procedures. Despite these changes, Patricia continued to play the role of the caring spouse, accompanying Tom to medical appointments and expressing her concern over his deteriorating health. However, she was always quick to avoid discussing any possible environmental or dietary causes that might lead to further tests, especially toxicology screenings. Dr. Chin initially diagnosed Tom with either a viral infection or a stress-related condition. The routine blood tests came back with some abnormal results, but nothing immediately suggested poisoning. Patricia, ever resourceful, requested that the doctor refrain from conducting any further tests, citing their insurance limitations and potential financial strain. As January drew to a close, Tom's condition had worsened to the point where he was unable to maintain his regular work schedule. He endured excruciating abdominal pain, ongoing vomiting, and moments of disorientation that alarmed those around him. Yet, Patricia discouraged him from seeking emergency medical care, arguing that hospital bills would only further strain their finances. By the first week of February 2024, Tom's health had deteriorated significantly. Seizures and difficulty breathing became his new reality. On February 7th, Patricia found Tom unresponsive in their bedroom and immediately called 911, claiming her husband had collapsed. Emergency medical technicians arrived at the Bradley residence at 11:43 a.m. and found Tom in cardiac arrest. Despite frantic resuscitation efforts, Tom was declared dead at Henrico Doctors Hospital at 12:56 p.m. The attending physician noted Tom's recent health decline but found no immediate cause of death during the external examination. Patricia's reaction to his death appeared sincere to both hospital staff and responding officers. She wept openly, expressing her shock that Tom's health had deteriorated so quickly. She provided medical personnel with details about Tom's symptoms and medical history, citing stress and poor eating habits as possible contributing factors. The initial death certificate listed cardiac arrest as the cause of death, with hypertension and obesity noted as contributing factors. Because of Tom's medical history, no autopsy was ordered. Patricia wasted no time in initiating the life insurance claim process. By February 12th, she had contacted Mutual Security Life Insurance Company, submitting the necessary documentation, including the death certificate and policy details. The company processed the claim without raising any concerns, given that everything appeared to be in order. However, Tom's sudden death sparked suspicion among his coworkers and close friends. Several individuals, including his supervisor, reported that Tom's rapid decline seemed out of sync with his recent physical examination, which had shown no significant health issues. Tom's daughter, Michelle, also grew suspicious about the circumstances surrounding her father's death. She shared with investigators that during their last phone conversation in December, Tom had sounded healthy and optimistic, which made his sudden decline seem even more baffling. These concerns prompted Michelle to ask the Richmond Police Department to take a closer look into her father's death. Detective Robert Hayes was assigned to investigate the case, determined to uncover whether there was more to Tom's sudden death than met the eye. Before we continue, let us know in the comments where you're watching from. We would love to hear your thoughts, and don't forget to subscribe to Bruised Voice so you never miss any of our chilling stories. Detective Hayes' initial review of the case highlighted several factors that aligned with the family's suspicions. Tom's relatively young age, the absence of significant underlying health issues, and the rapid onset of his final illness raised enough red flags to warrant a more thorough investigation. On February 28, 2024, Detective Hayes formally requested a delayed autopsy, along with a full toxicology screening. His request was based on concerns raised by Tom's family, as well as the substantial life insurance payout that could provide a possible financial motive for foul play. The autopsy was performed by Dr. Sarah Williams, the chief medical examiner for the Richmond metropolitan area. During her external examination, no visible signs of trauma or other immediate causes of death were found. However, tissue samples were taken for extensive toxicological testing, which included analysis for common poisons, pharmaceuticals, and industrial chemicals. The toxicology results, which were finalized in mid-March 2024, revealed the presence of ethylene glycol in Tom's blood, liver, and kidney tissues. The levels of the compound were consistent with fatal poisoning, and the distribution pattern suggested that Tom had been exposed to ethylene glycol over a prolonged period. The final, lethal dose appeared to have been administered within 24 to 48 hours of his death. Dr. Williams revised the death certificate to list homicide by ethylene glycol poisoning as the official cause of death. The case was promptly handed over to the Richmond Police Department's Homicide Division, with Detective Hayes continuing as the lead investigator. The investigation now centered on determining how Tom had been exposed to ethylene glycol and, more importantly, who had the opportunity and motive to poison him. Given her exclusive access to Tom's food and drink, as well as her knowledge of his daily routine and the substantial life insurance policy that stood to benefit her, Patricia quickly emerged as the primary suspect. investigators obtained search warrants for both the Bradley household and Patricia's personal belongings. During the search of the Bradley residence, several partially emptied antifreeze containers were discovered in the garage. This discovery raised further suspicion, especially considering that neither of the Bradleys' vehicles required antifreeze maintenance during the winter months when the purchases were made. The investigation took a critical turn as the pieces of evidence began to paint a clearer picture of premeditation. Patricia's actions, both in terms of her financial motives and her knowledge of Tom's habits, began to show the calculated nature of her crime. With each new lead, the web of deceit surrounding Tom's death grew tighter. As we continue this investigation, let us know in the comments where you're watching from. We'd love to hear your thoughts and theories on this case. Don't forget to subscribe to Bruised Voice so you never miss any updates on this unfolding mystery. A forensic analysis of Patricia's digital devices uncovered a chilling trail of evidence. Investigators found that she had extensively researched methods of poisoning, with a particular focus on ethylene glycol and its toxic effects. The timeline of her online searches aligned almost perfectly with Tom's worsening health, offering compelling evidence of her premeditated actions. Additionally, financial records revealed that Patricia was facing mounting debt, with overdue credit card bills and a personal loan nearing default. The large life insurance payout would have easily cleared her financial burdens, leaving her with a substantial sum. Patricia was arrested on March 25, 2024, and charged with first-degree murder and insurance fraud. During her initial interrogation, she maintained that Tom's death was due to natural causes linked to his existing health issues. However, when confronted with damning toxicology results and her incriminating search history, Patricia requested legal representation and stopped answering questions. Her attorney initially suggested they would challenge the toxicology findings, attempting to claim that Tom's exposure to ethylene glycol was accidental. The prosecution, however, built a strong case by bringing in testimonies from Patricia's friends and acquaintances, who recalled her constant complaints about their financial troubles and her resentment toward Tom's frugality. Some witnesses testified that Patricia had openly remarked how much easier life would be if she didn't have to contend with Tom's objections to her spending habits. Medical experts testified on the effects of chronic ethylene glycol poisoning and confirmed the deliberate nature of the poisoning regimen that had been discovered through Tom's tissue samples. The prosecution argued that Patricia's meticulous research on poisoning methods, combined with her careful administration of the toxin, was clear evidence of premeditated intent to kill. The defense attempted to argue that Tom's death might have been an unfortunate accident, possibly caused by exposure to antifreeze while working on vehicles. However, this claim was swiftly debunked, as investigators proved that Tom had not been involved in any automotive repairs for months before his death and rarely worked with antifreeze. Insurance investigators testified that Patricia had contacted them multiple times, urgently pushing for the payout due to her mounting financial pressure. These communications, along with her extensive research into beneficiary rights, supported the prosecution's argument that financial motive played a key role in the murder. In September 2024, after an intense trial, Patricia was found guilty of all charges. The jury deliberated for 8 hours before returning verdicts of first-degree murder and insurance fraud. Under Virginia law, the conviction for murder carried a mandatory life sentence without the possibility of parole. At sentencing, Tom's daughter, Michelle, delivered an emotional victim impact statement. She spoke of the profound loss of her father and the devastation she felt upon discovering that Patricia, someone Tom had trusted completely, had so callously orchestrated his death. Patricia was sentenced to life imprisonment without parole for the murder charge, plus an additional 10 years for the insurance fraud conviction. The sentences were to run consecutively, ensuring that Patricia would never be eligible for release. Following the conviction, the life insurance claim was denied, and Mutual Security Life Insurance Company took legal action to recover the costs of the investigation. Virginia state law prohibits beneficiaries from collecting life insurance proceeds if they are responsible for the insured's death. Tom's remaining assets, including his portion of the marital home and his retirement accounts, were transferred to Michelle through probate court. The house on Oakwood Drive was sold, and Patricia's share of the proceeds was held in escrow until potential restitution claims were resolved. Let us know in the comments your thoughts on this shocking case. What do you think was Patricia's biggest mistake? Don't forget to subscribe to Bruised Voice for more gripping true crime stories like this one.